Hello folks, welcome back to the Addicted Bookworm, where my addiction's all over the internet. On this channel I do library book hauls, book reviews, both digital and physical, audiobooks, and so much more. So tomorrow is Monday, the 14th. I will be going to the library to drop off a bunch of books, also to donate a couple of books, not as much as I did last time I went to the library, but definitely going to donate like probably about two books, because I'm trying to get rid of the books that I am having trouble selling, and they'd be much better suited for other people to be able to use and to enjoy. So today I decided to try StoryGraph. I think that's how you pronounce it, or the StoryGraph. Because I was getting really sick and tired of like book reading being more of a society thing or social thing than it being a more personal thing. Because I feel like that when I go and I am reading, I feel like that I'm competing with like half of the planet or more than half the planet, and I just want to just like get rid of like 99% of my social thing. So to me, Goodreads is just another form of social media. And I'm just like, no, I'm trying to get rid of social media. I'm trying to get rid of the feeling of like, oh, I'm not good enough. I'm not good enough because I'm not doing this, and this. And so I decided to stop doing it. I decided to stop, to stop trying to compete with other people and to be more myself and everything. And what I like about StoryGraph is that it's not a social type of website or type of app where basically you're competing with like 800 million people. Also, it's not connected to Amazon, which is good. And I also knocked down the amount of books that I decided to read in 2025. So I had said I was going to read 300 books, and by the time you get to like close to like the middle part of July, you really start feeling the pressure to get to 300 or to get to whatever number of books that you are trying to read, and you realize that the joy that you once felt is not there anymore. So I decided to heck with it. I'm going to put it down. So it is now actually down to 240 books, not 300 books. So I'm about, if you look at Goodreads, I'm about 3 books away from finishing that goal, and that is great for me. I definitely feel like I will get those 3 books read at least by the end of this week coming up. And then after that, it will put a little ribbon that says I completed it, and I will be happy, and I will move on. So StoryGraph is great if you're not into like, it's not a social media type of thing, which is great. I love that. Like, thank you so much for having a non-social media app. I have the app on my phone because I want it. Also, when I'm at the library, it will give me a list of books that they think that I might enjoy, and I will look through it, and I will decide what my next checkout is going to be. So definitely using it for that, to find books that I would not have normally found. I don't know if they do book competitions or book giveaways. If they don't, I'm not going to be upset about it, because I just don't like book giveaways anyways. Now on my StoryGraph, I'm probably about maybe 11 books away from hitting my StoryGraph goal, or it might be 7 or it might be 5, I don't remember. But I love it that with the app, I can like, okay, this is like, if I'm reading on my Nook and I finish, like, say a chapter, I can go on StoryGraph and I can add the page number I'm on, and it will tell me how many percentages I'm into it. Um, it's just so nice. It's just so nice. And I have been watching videos about people talking about switching to StoryGraph, and I'm like, I'm not so sure I want to, because I'm so used to Goodreads. But now that I have the app on my phone and I can access the app on my, not app, but website on my computer, I just see why people like it so much better. It's like you're not competing with people, and that's really great. I like it to be, I like just to be by myself, just looking at what is offered, and then just go from there. I'm just like, this is really cool. I like this a lot. Now there's people like Fable. I had Fable for 2 months. I just didn't like it. It just felt like social media. I don't understand why your book buying and your book buying should be a social thing. Like, I don't know. Like I said in my 5-year mark video, that I started buying books and reading books because it made me happy. It got me out of that dark and black place that is called grief. It was better for my mental health than to be stuck in grief land forever. It also didn't put extra pounds on me, so I had hamburgers that did that for me, though that was because I was hungry and everything. But yeah, it's great to be on a non-social media type of app that is for people that like books. And I know it's like, interesting enough, like, what is it? Tome is finally coming out on Android. Not interested in it. I was interested in it when they were doing the whole thing with taking away Book Talk. I personally don't care for it anymore. I don't want to take part anymore. So I'm just going to use my StoryGraph to, Also, on Goodreads, there's no moderation. I mean, you can be an author and you just accidentally say the wrong thing, and they will find your book and they will just give you like 1 star, 1 star, 1 star. Oh, I didn't read the book. And actually, there was a lady who commented on this one person's video that says, "Oh, what I like about Goodreads is that I can leave a review and I don't have to verify that I actually read the book." And I'm like, apparently, StoryGraph, you have to actually have read the book to leave the review. And I'm like, so you just like giving out fake reviews on books. I just don't understand that. But I'm going to use the app to like record like how far along I am in a book. But I am going to use the website to actually type up my reviews, which I'm definitely going to do that. I'm not going to just leave, like, put a 3.5 star or something like that. Which also, I was told that's another feature that StoryGraph has. You don't have to get a full 3-star, 4-star. You can do like the halfway thing. I was always wondered how they did that. Like, how do you do that? Leave that little half a star, like 3.5 stars or 3.78, or I don't understand that. But apparently on StoryGraph you can do that, which is really cool. So definitely, like, for someone who's getting back into like more slow reading and more careful reading, definitely going to have a file that I'm going to list, like I'm going to type up, like as I read the book, I'm going to type up my review, and then I'm going to copy and paste it onto StoryGraph. So yeah, I'm also actually going to use that page for my book reviews from now on. Like, once I hit that Goodreads mark where like I've completed the challenge and I have no desire to do it ever again, I'm going to sit there and I'm just like type up my review, like type it up. And if I kind of want to include something like, oh, this person did this, and I'm kind of wondering why they did that, and then later on I says, okay, I'm admitting it, like, okay, this is now I know why this character did it. Do that. So StoryGraph is going to be great for me to do that. Just copy and paste everything that I basically wrote about the book. Be a lot more thorough about my book reviews. And I know I've mentioned this so many different times, and I'm sorry for repeating myself, but I really feel like that with StoryGraph, I will be able to do a far more detailed book review, and it'll just feel more honest and more authentic, which is, people love that these days, is authentic things, which, hey, I understand. If you want authentic book reviews, okay, wonderful. I'm there for that. I'm also going to use StoryGraph for my 2026 book challenge. So, like, I'm only going to, as I said this several times, I'm only reading 6 books next year. And you all know the reason. But I'm not going to do a reading challenge for a Goodreads next year. Not that I now have StoryGraph. So, yeah. But it just amazes me about how people will still continue to defend their continuing usage of Goodreads. And yeah, I'm a Goodreads author, and that was all part of me, like, letting people know, hey, I'm here to, hey, read my book and leave a review. But I can't now, as somebody that now sees, and I don't know why it took me so long to realize this. I think it took that one author being basically bashed for me to realize that Goodreads is just too toxic. So like my books that the books that I already have purchased on Nook, I'm going to do reviews of it. But yeah, I'm just, like I said, I'm just going to do things a lot differently, and I will have a cool app to help me, and a cool website to help me out as well. But yeah, people they like, oh, I use Fable because it's social, and I'm like, I can't take any more social media stuff. I cannot. It's just like, it just seems to me like people that go on Fable, or they stick with Goodreads because it's a social media type of website or app or whatever. I just look at you like, what the hell? Like, and I will say, in this day and age, having websites where you can type up your own book review, which normally was the domain of, like, newspapers, is great, but some of the things they do on Goodreads, and Goodreads allows it, just gives me the dry heaves. I just want to throw up. Just, like, feel the bile going up my throat. But with StoryGraph, I just feel like, because everyone talks about it's a, a non-social app, which is great, because I want to, I want to do that, and it's definitely better than Goodreads. It's someone also said it was better than Fable, especially if you're not into social media type of thing. I was like, my kind of place. It's just gonna be so much better. Definitely so much better. But anyways, as I said, tomorrow I'm going to the library to drop off some stuff. I'm also going to go over to Target and do some stuff. I'm also going to, I'm thinking seriously to do this. I'm going to walk from the library to the bank to put that 20 in. And then I'm just going to take the bus, like, home. And everything. So, yeah, I am going to do that. I'm going to be very, very happy about that. And as I said, if I really like if I finish that book that I'm currently on, not currently on, because I'm about ready to take a nap, I am going to go and I'm going to get that book on Kindle. I'm going to buy the book. It's like $5, and it's interesting to say the least. It's very interesting, but yeah. So I'm in there, and I will see you next time.